Very good evening. Okay, so students, as you can read there, we are going to start with advanced arithmetic workshop. It will have questions related to partnership, ratio proportion, time and work, percentage, simple interest, compound interest, etc. So let's start with the first question. So what is the answer for this first question, students? Some of you are giving 9, 5. Prabhu says answer is 9. Okay, so shall we discuss this? Right now, the answer for the question happens to be 5. Now, see students, let's solve this question. Now here in this case, 12,000 rupees is given to be the profit and 10% is kept for managing the business. So 10% of 12,000 is 1200 rupees, students. So that means the remaining 10,800 will be distributed in the ratio of their capitals, which are in the ratio of 2:3:4. Now we want to calculate it for Praveen, which is the first person. So Praveen will have 2/9 of the total profits. So 2/9 of that comes out to be 2400, students. Now as he has got a total of 2900, that means he has got 500 rupees for managing the business. Now students, we know that 1200 rupees has been kept aside for managing the business for 1 year, that is 12 months. If 1200 rupees is there for 12 months, then 500 rupees will be there for how many months? Can you calculate that? So it will be into 500 by 1200 and your answer shall come out to be 5 months. Right students? I guess you all are clear about this now. That's all you need to do. Yeah, we have, it's the one and the same thing only. Akanksha, just hear to me carefully. Now out of 12,000, 10% has been kept for distributing as the share for managing the business, that is commission. Now the remaining 10,800 will be distributed in the ratio of their capitals, which is 2:3:4. So out of that, Praveen will get 2/9 of the profit, which comes out to be 2400. He has got a total of 2900 rupees. That means he has got 500 rupees for managing the business. The ratio, RC, you can just calculate it quickly here. You can cancel 3 zeros from all, and then 31 you can cancel with, it comes out to be 2:3:4. So that is the reason. Yeah, when months are not given, it is just taken in the ratio of their capital. So students, I guess you all are clear about this now. Answer comes out to be 5 months. So a quick response from you will help students to move to the next question. Okay, so here comes the next one. Yeah, student, it's a ratio based question. Just read it and answer it. So answer is 25. That is the fourth option. One says, so many of you are giving the answer to be 25. Rahul says it is 20. I think almost everybody has read it and solved it. So students, shall we discuss the question here? Nitesh says the answer is 16. Okay, just last 30-40 seconds for some of you who have not solved it so far. Okay, Prabhu. Okay, no, even Prabhu has answered. So shall we discuss this question here, students? Now there are two things in this, students. One, he divides it in the ratio of 2:3. Now very importantly, we have to find the share of Saurabh, and Saurabh is the third person given. So third person, as per the ratio given of 2:3:4, will get 4/9 of the total, students. Now how much is 4/9 of 117? We can find that it comes out to be 52 rupees. Now students, second part gives very important learning for some of you. Now here it says that 2 times Sachin is equal to 3 times Rahul is equal to 4 times Saurabh. Now students, let me come to the method here. You all know what we do usually. We place all these values to be equal to K. And then we try to find Sn in terms of K, R in terms of K, Sv in terms of K, and so on. So let's apply a shortcut here. whenever he has defined the ratio in this, can you say that twice of something, thrice of something and 4 times of something, they all are equal? So if they all are equal, let's straight away take a number which is a multiple of 2 as well as 3 as well as 4. So we know the LCM of 2, 3 and 4 is 12. So let's try to make all the parts as 12. Now in order to make it as 12, Sn should have a value of how much? 2 into 6 will make 12. And 3 into 4 will make it 12. And 4 into 3 will make it 12. And that gives you the ratio as 6:4:3. Now talking about the third person students, that is Saurabh, he will get 3 by 13 of 117. As you all shall be knowing, 13 into 9 gives you 117 and 9 3s is 27. So you subtract 27 and now you can see he has got how many rupees more than intended? He has got 25 rupees more than intended. Right, everybody? Yeah, exactly, Prabhu. If you get it correct, there is nothing like it, especially CAT kind of an exam. Okay, right, students? Hardik, this kind of a question, I think, reading again, if you read it quickly, I think 30-40 seconds you are able to understand, maybe 1 minute after that. So total it is close to 2.5 minute kind of a question. Okay, students, we are going to the next question. This one. Now it's a simpler question seemingly, so answer it. So you all are reading this interest question. Okay, Ashish, let's see what can we learn from this question. Okay, some of you are answering it to be 120, some of you are saying it to be 125. Loveleen says it is 55. Okay. RC, just try and understand. Akanksha, question says right now principal is 300% more than the interest. I guess you all shall know if something is 300% more, that means it is 4 times. So that is one hint that you can apply. And what percent the principal be of the interest to 3 by 4 years from now? Shalva, you want to know how to assume the X years. 1, you can calculate that. 2, if you ask me honestly, you need not calculate that. You can avoid the calculation of the same, Selva. Okay, students, so shall we start the discussion on the same? Okay, see, 1. He says X years ago it was 20% per annum simple interest. Now that would only help us to get to know that the rate of interest is 20%. Now at present the principal is 300% more than the interest. So principal is 300% more than the interest. We said that would mean it is 4 times. So if I take the principal to be 100, can I say interest comes out to be 25? You all agree to the same? 100 is 4 times 25. Now, what percentage will it be of the interest 2, 3 by 4 years from now? Now students, 2, 3 by 4 years is 4 2s are 8 plus 3, 11 by 4 years. Right? Now 11 by 4 years, if you keep on calculating the rate at the rate of 20%, you will get a total interest which is equal to 55%. Now this point may be new for some of you students. In case of simple interest, the interest is always calculated on the same principle. Right? So when you take 10% for 4 years, it is equal to 40% for 1 year. When you take 2.5% for 4 years, that is equivalent to 10% for 1 year. That is the total interest as a percentage you can take to be the product of rate and time. Garima, if you give 20% in the year 1, 20% year in the 2, 20% in the year 3, in total you have given 60%. So 20% into 3 gives you 60%. That is, we can take the product of rate and time. Is it okay now, Garima? Yeah, that's correct, Selva. So that means he will earn 55% more. Now because we have taken the principal to be 100 only, 55% of 100 is 55. That means the total interest earned will become 80. So with this you have almost solved the question. Question is, principal is what percent of the interest? Now 100 is what percent of 80? So students, you know 100 by 80 you can cancel with 20, 5, 4 and 25. So your answer shall come out to be 125%. Utkarsh, I said you are getting 55%. Now 55% and we have taken the principal to be 100. So 55% of 100 is 55 only, and 25 you have already earned interest. So that means the total interest earned will become 80. Now question is 100 is what percent of 80? Right students? I guess with this you can solve the question. Actually becomes very simple. So 125% is your interest. I get you all have got it? Yes students? Okay, moving on to the next question. This one. It's a question on alligation and mixture. Simple ratio, profit loss you can also call it. So read it and answer it. Okay, 5-6 answers have come. Right students, it's not that tough a question. So shall we solve it? I think we should. Now here, see, he measures only 900 ml instead of a liter. So that means for 18 liters that he has bought, he will sell how many liters? He will sell 20 liters. Now 18 liters he buys at the rate of 10, or his CP is 180, and 20 liters he will sell at the rate of 12 rupees, or that is his SP happens to be 240. With this your question is almost over students. He makes a profit of 60 rupees, and a profit of 60 on an investment or on a cost price of 180 comes out to be 1/3 or 33%. So it is 60 over 180. So it is 1/3. It is 33, 1/3%. Right, Udit, you got 18 divided by 0.9? Because 900 ml he sells as 1 liter. Now 900 ml is 0.9. So that means 0.9 he sells for 1. So 18 will become 20 liters for him to be sold. Right students? I think we should move on to the next question now. Okay, the next question is, just read the directions. So I guess you all have read it. So shall we move on to the question students? It says A can complete a piece of work in 12 days working at full efficiency. Now on day 1 he works at full, day 2 half, and on the day 3 he works at 1/4 of his efficiency, and then the same cycle repeats. Moving on, answer this question. So some of you are answering it to be 20, 22, 3/4 is also an answer, and Raman says 18 for sure. So Raman is so confident saying 18 for sure students. So shall we take his answer to be right? Raman, people do not agree with your answer. Now the Banjan says it is 22.75 and he is also pretty sure about it. Raman needs a Raghav Shashank, a very good comment. Okay students, let's discuss it. Some of you, this kind of a question, when the efficiency changes or the work done is different every time, the question becomes a little complex. Now let's try and understand it in a very simpler way. See, he says he completes the work in 12 days working at full efficiency, and then next day his efficiency is half, then his efficiency is 1/4. That is, in the second day if he works at that rate he'll be able to finish in 24 days, and as per the third day he shall be able to finish it in 48 days. Now let's take the work to be some number of units. Some number of units which is a multiple of 12, 24 and 48. So let's take the work to be 48 units students. So that implies when he works at full efficiency he does 4 units a day, at half efficiency he does 2 units a day, and at 1/4 efficiency he does 1 unit a day. So students, he does 4 plus 2 plus 1, that is 7 units in how many days? 3 days. Similarly, 7 more units in 3 more days, 7 more units in 3 more days, and so on. Now here you need to judge, students. 7 units can be taken how many times so that you reach close but less than 48, right? That is, you will have such 6 cycles, students, in which you will finish 7 units every time, and that will become a total of 18 days. And by now 7 6 the 42 units have been done. Now again the day comes when he will work at full efficiency, that is, he will do 4 units on the next day, and then he will do 2 units on the day after that, and that makes the total number of units done to be equivalent to 48. And the number of days, the day will become here to be after 18. This is the 19th day when he does 4 units, and it is the 20th day on which he does 2 units. So the answer for the question shall come out to be 20 days. Right, students? I guess you all have understood it. All the questions in which the works is done on full efficiency, half, quarter, or there are 2 or 3 different persons doing the work on alternative days or every 3rd day or every 4th day. For all such questions, it is always better to assume the work in terms of number of units and then taking the efficiency of every person in terms of units only. The advantage of the units method is, students, that you avoid the fractions which otherwise make your questions calculations very, very tough. Right? So I strongly suggest time and work you can follow this units approach, which will help to solve the question in quite a quicker manner. Right, students? So Manish, you can definitely use calculator, but we should not use or avail of anything just because it is available free, right? Because the only constraint that you have in a competitive paper is the time. It is not that giving calculator is in a way going to help you. If you don't use it judicially, it will hamper your performance. Let me tell you, it may make your performance deteriorate in the long run. So use calculator, very, very precisely and only where you actually need it and you feel that it can make you solve the question in a better and in a quicker manner. Okay, students. So then there is one more question on the same data. Let's solve it. This one is the same information. Yeah, Prabhu, the video of the same will be uploaded in YouTube in the probably next 2-3 days. You can go through there. Plus, because you are Prabhu, so we cannot dishearten Prabhu. Because all that is going on is due to Kripa of Prabhu only. Prabhu khush to sare khush. Yeah, that's right, Karthik. Yeah, Prabhu, God bless you and you too bless everybody. Yeah, Kaushik, Kripa बरसनी चाहिए, निर्मल बाबा के जैसे नहीं. Okay, so students, so many of you are giving the answer to be 4th option. Yeah, I guess everybody has tried, students. So shall we discuss it? So students, this question can be solved smartly. It's not a tough question if handled properly. Now we only know, we have already done this earlier for the previous question, that on day 1 he works 2 units, on day 4 units, on day 2 it is 2 units, and day 3 it is 1 unit. So that means 7 units have already been done in 3 days. Now he says B joined on the 4th day and together they completed the job in 11 days. Now after that A works at full efficiency. We know for the remaining 8 days, 3 days have already gone. For the remaining 8 days he works at full efficiency, that is 4 units a day. So that implies he has finished a total of 39 units. Is that okay, students? Now 39 units have been done by A. Total was 48. This means the remaining 9 units have been done by B. Now make it over here only. If somebody does 9 units out of 48, he will get 9 by 48 of the profits only. Now 24 into 2, 24 into 300, and this gives you 150. Now students, 150 into 9 gives us 1350. So your answer comes out to be choice number 4. Yeah, I took it 4 as Manish, we have taken the total work to be 48 units, and when he works at full efficiency, he does 4 units a day as he finishes the work in 12 days. Well, students, you can see so easy calculations are there. Nothing tough is to be done actually. Yeah, I get everybody is clear? Okay. Right, students. So with this, we move on to the next question. This one. It's a question based on simple interest again. Answer coming out to be 32, 24. Samrodha says 25. Prabhu, I don't know like that. Dinesh Miglani, I don't know. Yeah, students, so 32 is the most common answer, I guess. Everybody is almost certain that the answer is 32. And let me tell you here, students, 32 is a wrong answer. You have missed a very important line from the question. How many years from now? Okay, so let's solve it, students. Now here see, few years back, now the same sum becomes 200% of what he borrowed. So you can say if the principal happens to be 100, amount happens to be 200, mind it, it becomes 200%, it does not increase by 200%. These are two different things. If something increases by 200%, it becomes 300%. But if it just becomes 200%, that means there is an increase of 100%. Now he says, after 2 years, the amount will increase by 12.5%. So students, after 2 years, this will increase by 12.5%. Now 12.5, I think you all shall know in terms of fractions is 1 by 8. If you calculate and add 1 by 8 in this, which is 25 rupees, it becomes 225. So that means rupees 25 interest has been earned in 2 years. Mind it, on rupees 100 only, because it is just a case of simple interest. So if you earn 25 rupees in 2 years, that means your rate of interest happens to be 12.5% per annum. Is that okay, students? Because you earn 25% in 2 years, or because you earn 25 rupees on 100 in 2 years, so that means if 25% is earned in 2 years, your rate is 12.5% per annum. All of you please listen again. You can see here he earns 25 rupees, your principal is 100. You can apply the formula if you're not getting it. It is interest into 100 divided by principal into time. So rate happens to be 12.5%. Right, students? Now, so if your rate is 12.5%, he says how many years from now will the amount be 5 times the sum? If the amount you want to be 5 times the sum, this means you want to earn a total interest which is equivalent to 400%. If amount is 5 times, this means interest earned is 400%. Now rate is 12.5. So that means the total time period will become 32 years. But again the catch was how many years from now, and the sum of money is always double. It is already doubled. So this means out of 32, those 8 years of doubling should be subtracted, or it will take 24 more years. So answer shall be option number 2. Okay. Let me explain the same. Okay, Garima, after 32 years, 8 years have already gone, because the same sum has already become 200%. All of you please focus on it again. Let me tell you. See, you want to make this sum 5 times. 5 times means you want to earn an interest of 400%, and out of those 400% that you want to earn interest, 100% you have already earned, because initial information only says that the sum becomes 200%. So this means you want to earn 300% more as interest when the rate of interest is 12.5%. So this means it will take 24 more years. right? Either I can subtract the first 100% interest earned and calculate for the remaining time period, or I can calculate the total time period to earn 400%, and then I can subtract the 8 years which have already gone by. So both the methods are perfectly okay. You can apply whichever way you feel alright. Okay students, how many of you have got it by now? Okay, that's great. Okay, so moving on to the next question students. This one, a very good question. Answer it. Abhishek, if 100% accuracy you assume, maybe attempting 17-18 questions with one mistake type will help you reach that percentile. For 99 above, you can call safely to be 20 plus, correct, with 90 to 95% accuracy. Manish, next session will plan next week only, probably Wednesday or Tuesday. Let's see, Kavita, what others are saying. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, the capacity of each pair will be different, Utkarsh. You are perfectly right. See, it just says that there are 30 painters. Everybody may have different capacity to work, may have. Every day a different pair of 2 painters paint the house, because no pair of painters working twice. So when all the possible pairs, that is all the possible pairs, pair consists of 2 people, have worked, all the painters together paint for 2 more days to finish painting the house. So find the number of days in which all the painters working together will finish the painting job. Now had they all worked together from the beginning, it would have taken how many days? That is your question. Some of you are saying to be 31, some of you are getting 20, 41. Nobody has given the answer to be 50 so far. So Pratim, Kunal, Karthik, they are saying answer to be 31. Selva says it is 20. Anybody else getting 20 as answer? Okay. So nobody is interested in 2020? No, Akanksha, let me tell you, it's a very, very simple question. It's a very simple question. It's a sitter. You can finish this question in 30-40 seconds. Just listen to me very carefully, students. Yeah, logic matters here, Selva. See, let's understand it by taking a simple example of, say, only 5 people. So there are 5 people, A, B, C, D, E. Let me say rest everything is same. So students, can you say A will make 4 pairs with other people? B will again make 4 pairs with other people. C will make 4 pairs with other people. Same goes with D and E. So can I say the moment they all have worked in pairs, that means they all would have worked for 4 days till that day, and then it takes 2 more days. So for the same question, you can say answer would have been 6 days had it been only 5 people there. See, if there are 5 people, A, B, C, D, E, A will have how many different pairs to work? A can only work for 4 days, once with B, once with C, once with D, and once with E. Similarly, B will again work for 4 days only, एक बार A के साथ, एक बार C के साथ, एक बार D के साथ, एक बार E के साथ. So if they all work in pairs, students, they all will work for 4 days only. Yeah, that is the same thing. But we are saying how many pairs will be made. A, B and BA are the same pairs. So students, in this case, when there are 30 painters, everybody can make how many different pairs? Everybody will be making only 29 pairs. That 29 pairs would not mean that they will work only 29 days. It will end for much more number of days, but till those number of days, everybody would have worked for 29 days only. Now after that, they all worked together for 2 more days. Now on 2 days, they all worked. 29 days individually, they all worked earlier, and 2 days, now they all work. So this means the total work would have ended for 31 days had they all worked together from the beginning. Yeah, every day exactly 2 painters paint the house. But what is the question? Question is, had they all working together from the beginning, work will be finished in how many days, right? So A will work with 29 people on 29 different days. B will work with 29, C will work with 29. Whether they have already worked with A or no is a separate matter. Total till the end of the pairs, as some of you are applying 30C2, everybody would have worked 29 pairs. No, there are no repeated pairs. Pranav, just read it. No pair of painters working together twice. That is perfectly okay, Utkarsh, that they will not work simultaneously. But if everybody has worked for 29 days, and now if you make them work together, how many days they will take? It will be 29 only. Now, how will it repeat, Utkarsh? No. That is right, Akanksha, that after A has worked with B, B will have 28 more pairs. But one day he has worked with A, so he has worked for a total of 29 days only. We are not calculating it will make how many days to make pairs. See here, anybody having doubt? Understand it from the 5 people example we have taken. See, we said A will work with 4, B will work with 3 more, C will work with 2 more, D will work with 1 more. So the total work would take 10 days. But in those 10 days, every day there are 2 people working. So this means in those 10 days, 20 people have worked. And there are 5 people different. So they all worked for 4 days each. Getting it? Yeah. This is what I am trying to explain. Total it took 10 days. After A is 4, B is 3, but B is 1 day has already gone with A. Similarly, C is 1 day with B and A has already been counted. So everybody works for 4 days. So that is in fact the catch in the question. The question is actually very simple if you apply this. Exactly, Selva. Thank you so much. Right, Utkarsha? Okay, so shall we move on to the next question? Okay, so moving on to the next question, students. I think you all are facing great difficulty now because Prabhu has already left. So बिना भगवान के सब कष्ट होता है. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Great, 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 guys. So answer this question. Most of you are answering it to be 6. Shashak is so confident, saying for sure it is 6. So I think let's not make his ship sink for this question. Yeah, this is easy one. So let's solve this, students. I guess you all have tried almost. You all have got the answer. Should we skip this or should I discuss this, students? Okay. Utkarsh wants me to discuss it. So students, here, as per the question, the leak admits 2 tons in 4 minutes. So in 4 minutes, it admits 2 tons of water. Now, as the rate of the pump is given to be in hours, so let's calculate this also in hours. So in 60 minutes, the leak would admit 30 tons of water. Now the pump throws out 20 liters, students, 20 tons, sorry. So how much is being accumulated in the ship every hour? That becomes 10 tons. Now the question says that 100 tons will make the ship sink. So in how much time it will take to get 100 tons at the rate of 10 tons per hour? It will be needing 10 hours. So this means within those 10 hours, the ship should try to reach at the shore. Now 60 kilometers is the distance, 10 hours is the time period. So that means the speed at which it should move is 6 kilometers an hour so that it does not sink. Right, students? I guess you all are clear. The answer is 6 hours. Sorry, 6 kilometers per hour. Okay, students, let's go to the next question. This one, a very good question. Yeah, Manish, it's a very long question. Yeah, Garima, it's a tough question talking about 2 chains of supermarkets. One is Martin, one is Duck Vault. The customer base in the 2 years increases by 40%. The question is correct, Utkarsh. Utkarsh, you can never judge the difficulty level of a question just seeing it to be too lengthy. This question, when I'll explain, you will find it to be easy to understand. Yeah, Hardik, I'm just waiting for more students to give responses so that we can start the discussion. Okay, Shashank, we'll try to do that. See, when it says the customer base of the two supermarkets increased by 40%, that means it is in total. And by the way, let me add here, Janam, even if it is 40% each or 40% of the total, the answer remains the same. Getting it, Janam? If you buy 3 products and each gives you 10% discount, and if you find the total on 10% on the 3's combined marked price also, this will remain the same. So shall we discuss it, students? I guess you all have tried. Okay, I'm waiting here. Some of you are just saying to wait for 1 more minute, so I am doing that. Okay, so let's discuss it. So talking about 2 years, so one is the year 98, another is the year 99. The information is the share of M, the share of D, and total. As the shares are defined in percentage, so let me take the total to be 100 in the year 98 and see the question. It just says in 98 the customer base of M was the same as that of D, right? So market share was same. This means 100, we can take it to be 50 and 50. And then it says the customer base increased by 40%. So we can say the new total in 99 will be 140. So students, this means the market share, total market has increased by 40. And it says M has gained 20% of the customers of its competitor and lost 10% because the number of its own customer and the competitor's customer is same. So 20% of the same number he has gained and 10% of the same he has lost. That means in nutshell it gains 10%. So 10% of 50 is it has 5 more customers from the old and D has 5 less customers from the old. So this is 55 and this is 45. Now another important line given is, it says in the year 99 M has a share of 50% of the total customers of the two competitors. That means 140. Again, if you talk here, it is 70 and 70, right? Now just see what percent of the new customers patronized Duck Vault in 99. Now Duck Vault has 45 customers from the earlier base and 70 in total. So this means it has got 25 new customers out of a total of 40 new customers. Now you need to find 25 is what proportion of 40. Now it is 5 by 8, students, and I guess 5 by 8 you all know is 62.5%. So answer comes out to be option number 3. Garima, what is your question? 205 is not needed. You want to specify 20%? Yeah, Garima, 20% if you lose and 10%, 20% if you gain and 10% if you lose of the same value, in net you are getting an increase of 10% only. 55 is M has 50 of its own customers and 5 customers he acquired of the competitor. That is the old customers. So that gives it 55 as the total of the old customers. Right, students? Yeah, Samruddha, we take the original base to be 100. So they have equal market shares. So that gave it 10 and 10. Sorry, that gives it 50 and 50. Now M acquires 20% customers of the competitors and loses 10%, and the total is same in both the cases. So then nutshell it would mean it has acquired 10% of the competitors net result. So old customers become 50 plus 5, 55, and these customer becomes 45. Now in the year 99, out of 140 they again have equal shares, that is 70 and 70 only. So that means D has got 25 new customers out of the new 40 customers in total. So percentage is 62.5. Akanksha, 20 and 10 are not successive. These are in the same year, in the year 98 only. So they are not successive. Yeah, Samruddha, it's an easy question. I guess you all have got it, students. Shall we move on to the next question? Okay, so here is the next question, students. This one, a very good question. Okay, some of you have answered it. Let's see. So many of you has answering it to be 8%, 12%, some of you. So many of you are answering to be 8% here. Akanksha says 8% for sure. Okay, let's discuss it quickly. Simple question, but for some of you. The students here, in 1968, if you take the original to be 100, in 69, it says the new who joined was 30%, while 10% of the existing quit. Mind it, when 30% joined in the same year and 10% quit in the same year, you can take the net result of the two. An increase of 30 and a decrease of 10 means there is net an increase of 20, and an increase of 20 in 100 will make it 120. Now in the year 1970, now 20% joined in the as compared to the year 1969, and 30% left. Now 20% joined and 30% left. The net result is again there is a decrease of 10%. So if you decrease 120 by 10% or you multiply it by 0.9, you get the number in 1970 to be 108. Now the question says what is the percentage increase from 68 to 70. Now 108 is what? How much more than 100? It is 8. Now 8 more than 100 in percentage term becomes 8% only. Right, students? So your answer comes out to be choice number 4. Right? Good, Akanksha. Moving on to the next question, students. Want it be 120 minus 8. Why we subtract 8, Aditya, from this 112? See, it is 10% of 120 that you need to subtract. Okay, so let's go on to the next question, students, which is the last question for the day. Just read it, understand it, and answer it, students. So Garima says 1440, Manish says second option. So the answer comes out to be 1440 for most of you. So shall we discuss it, students? Okay, let's discuss it here. See, 800 beer bottles he sells, but some of them broke due to careless handling. The dealer has offered a discount of 10% and the customer paid rupees 11520. Now students, customer pays 11520 after a discount of 10%. This means this is 90% of the market price of the total bottles, from where you get the market price to be equal to 9 ones are, 9 twos are, 9 eights are, 12800, 12,800 rupees. But then it says because of loss in the transact, in spite of the discount, the customer gets beer bottles whose value is rupees 160, one less than what he pays. We know he has paid 11520, that is he has paid 1280 rupees less already. Still he made a loss of 160 rupees. So 1280 discount that he has got, he has broken bottles worth rupees that, and still there is a loss of 160 rupees. That means the total market price of the bottles which have been broken is 1440. So answer comes out to be choice number 4. Karthik, market price is the price which is before the discount, but he asked about the value in rupees of the broken bottles only, so that is perfectly okay for this. So right, students, I guess you all are clear about this solution as well. So I think we have done a decent number of questions for the day and you all would have learnt few tricks. Right, your feedback for the session will be really appreciated and it will help us to organize more such sessions for you. Yeah, Janam, what you have not got out of this? 11520 is paid, which is 90% of the price. So we are dividing it by 0.9 to get the total mark price as 12800. That means 1280 rupees less he has already paid, and still he makes a loss of 160. So that is the total is 1440. Right, students? Yeah, we'll surely organize for geometry and number system also, students. PNC, we did organize a session, right, students? So thank you so much from my side for the day. We will plan and let you know the next session date and timing. So waiting to see you all. Thank you so much. Thank you.